Howdy, howdy everybody, and welcome back to Counters Casual Competition. We're getting things started in just a few moments. I'll be kicking off our solos competition for today. As always, for any of you first-time viewers, there will be 3 rounds of singles competition, with initial seeding being done by rank, and then going forward Swiss from that point forwards. The whole casual part of the competition, for any people who are tuning in for the very first time, is that the prizes are mostly being given out randomly, so we're not necessarily super worried about not necessarily if our players are able to pull off the most ludicrous performances in the world. But alongside me for today, he is a spectre without measure. He is a ghost without... I should have planned out this rhyme ahead of time, but instead I'll introduce you, the Deadly Ghost. Welcome!
Hello everyone. Hope you're off to a great Saturday as I reposition myself a little bit better for the camera. You should have said ghost with the most, not without something. That would have been a better rhyme, but hello Counter, hello everyone. Hope you're having a great start to your weekend in this heat. Hope you're staying hydrated. I know I am.
And as Chad Chatter says, also a singer without a song to sing. Absolutely. Well...
Yeah, because you cut off my performance last time.
Well, what can I say? This is troubled times we're living in, gentle friends. So this will be our first tournament DG over on the 14.7. Though 14.7 has been in place for a little bit in terms of the real world, as it were. Regionals were played on 14.6, which has kind of knocked me out of it a little bit. So in terms of the big picture coming into today, what do you feel like, where we are meta-wise overall?
Well, Counter, I do feel that we have something of a lull state in these last few patches, because I feel that... Oh, we're not doing the thing. Okay.
Oh no, sorry, I got ahead of that one, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Well, we had a little bit of a lull state. We've had some. We have a little bit of dynamo sort of presence alongside everywhere. It's Dynamo with Vanguards, Dynamo with Bastions, Dynamo with Bruisers, Dynamo with everything.
Yes, Dynamo with a side of absolutely everything. I mean, it makes sense, honestly, in terms of the comp that's going to be the most flexible overall. Just being able to play any kind of frontline at all in there is pretty good. But I guess in terms of big picture then, certainly for where we've landed, it's rather than having the X-Tech be hyper-dominant as they were previously, more being now in the case of being, okay, there's a lot of different forecast options to go for.
Yeah, certainly has been a little bit of MF at the forefront, and everyone else sort of secondary in the forecast department. But there is some variation to comps, outside of just MF, and it does seem to be that we have a couple of the rerolls do seem to be nerfed a little bit. So especially in the Mundo reroll, as well. I'll take over a little bit as Counter is doing some admin stuff in behind the scenes, but yeah. Mundo reroll has gotten a little bit nerfed with the nerfs to Mundo himself, so it means that all of those bruiser rerolls with fiddlesticks are a little bit less potent than before. And also, I feel like Boombot are still the slow and silent killer, despite a little bit of a nerf to the Rockets, but it's still a very, very powerful comp.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think if you can get yourself all the way up there, then you're feeling very, very good indeed. But in terms of, the forecast focus at the moment definitely got a lot more, of a orientation towards the later game lines, because one cost rule, as you mentioned, especially with the Mundo being kind of the go-to there, being taken out of commission. I think a lot of people, myself included, got baited by the Cogmore Vanguard approach, and Morgana Bastion being a little bit reliant on hitting kind of specific conditions means that it's all, feels like it's very much more oriented towards late game comps.
Yeah, certainly has been, um, and I feel like something like the Morgana, for example, without the Bastion emblem doesn't really work all too well in the as it used to for the reroll, as we're slowly getting ready for everything. But yeah, it outside of maybe the Zyra buffs to the one cost, I feel like one costs have really taken the backseat for this last patch.
Well, I mean, at least we've got a good variety in MFX, Exotech, LeBlanc. Well, not LeBlanc, but the Vanguard Marksman as well. You have 4 different compositions at the 4 cost level, as well as mentioned the Urgot composition. The more of the late game focus being everything it needs to be, then I think we're in a reasonably good space overall. So we'll see. I mean, certainly, of course, things are a little bit winding down as the patch, and the set itself comes to an end. I think particularly DG, unfortunately we can't do any tournaments on these modes, but having the various different for fun modes being kind of released alongside the set has also drawn some of the attention towards the games where it's possible to be hitting those 3-star 4 costs and perhaps even 5 costs with a little bit more regularity. But TG, we're about to get started and drop into game. So let's not waste any more time, and hopefully, if everything's still working from the way it was before, it is. Get things started for today's first round of Counters Casual competition.
And it does seem like the first round of augments was a choice between 2 silvers and 1 gold augment, and looking at it right here, we have Pandora's Bench, and that's not Witch You Wallop. It's just the rephrasing of Witch You Wallop
Yes,
for
Button
the
Mash
Poppy Augment. Button Mash.
by a different name, yes. Okay, so we were saying before that we weren't necessarily expecting to see a lot of one-cost reroll being played, but it looks like Get Slayed wants to make a liar of us early on. As you said, with the Pandoras in place there as well, we've got the chance to get these up and running very quickly. Let's see maybe one of their opponents, and it looks like we're 2 for 2, maybe even 3 for 3. We've got the Cogmore 2-star on this side, so maybe Chadster thinking that direction. And Vesberg going for an early Seraphim as well means that even if our players aren't necessarily all going for rerolls, they've got themselves some strong early starts.
So interesting. Vesberg has gone for Pandora's into a Reforger here. So he's looking for a particular emblem here, and it might just be a long time before he gets the emblem that he really wants here. So it's really going to come down. Will Vesberg hit the emblem that he really wants, or will it just be a type scenario where you never hit it, where you never hit that reforge? Kind of like in our double up game earlier this week, Counter, where I never got that reforger for that pan.
We'll never mention anything about that double up taunt ever again. Ugh. 3 4th places in a row. Everyone else in that double up competition should be grateful for all those 4th places we took away from everybody else. But Vesberg, absolutely. I think it's got a lot of flexibility here, as long as you keep yourself sort of semi-open. And I think at this point, they're not really slamming items. They can take whatever they get. Executioner, I mean, I've seen a little bit of play. I think I remember as this patch came out, people were looking at that a little bit more. And this board for Vesberg, I mean, we've got a little bit of temptation to maybe actually go for the Executioner more vertical style.
Yeah, and it is a Street Demon board for the time being. However, that Poppy, well, I thought I saw a kitty cat, but one swing of the hammer and the kitty cat was gone.
Yeah, Getslade not actually as dominant as you might expect from looking at that round. Has currently taken, I think, a couple of losses. Let's look up and see who is currently undefeated. Honzik and Acid. So, Acid's, has managed to find a very, very early Graves and get him 3 items already, which is crazy. And
it's also best in slot for Graves.
Yeah, that's really, really good stuff. On the other side, Chad Chatster is the challenger with a decent looking board, but this, I mean, if you compare the two between, there's a lot of power for Graves in this board, like an absolute ton of it, and having Execution active as well. This, it feels like Chad Chatster's board's maybe a little bit more solid overall, because the tank items are really, really good, but I wonder if Chad Chatster's DPS is too low, as we'll see them go face to face, DG, and we'll find out for sure which is the stronger.
The real question is going to be, will this Graves go down onto the Kog'Maw, which he doesn't? So I feel like Chad Chatster really got lucky there, and that means that the boom bots can now safely take care of business with those boom rockets, and Chad Chatster is going to leave stage 2 with as the sole win streaker of in this game. So it was really lucky for Chad Chatster that the Graves didn't go on that Kog'Maw. If the Graves had gone there onto that backline, it would have been really, really detrimental for his win streak.
I was just looking at Acid's positioning. I believe what Acid's missed out on there was the positioning of the Shaco, or any unit in front of Graves. I believe that if there was that unit there, that maybe not actually. Looking at what he just did just then, but definitely you need to get dashing across not just your unit but the opposing unit as well to be able to reliably hit that backline. So Acid misses out, as you said. Chadster stays in place. Archon in second place at the moment. Has managed to pick up, the tiniest Titans, Good for Nothing, and Cypher 3. I mean, DG, we're seeing a recipe for destruction coming together here. That's a powerful augments and a high potential late game board.
What I'm gonna say is, all we need here is a tiniest Titan, and Eula is going to be ready for the win streak later on.
Okay, up against Chad Chatster, who is correcting us in the chat, DG. I apparently misspoke before when I said that there was luck on Chad Chatster's part. Instead, it was in fact deliberate by his own words that he moved his front line aside to make sure the Graves couldn't jump onto the Kog'Maw at the back. So my apologies, Mr. Chadster, for misrepresenting your position.
Potato.
Let's go and look at some of the other players then. We were talking about Street Demon as a possibility from before, and it looks like Honzik has actually decided to go down this line from the beginning, as we will have more silver augments joining. So DG, a larger proportion of our players' power in their boards will be coming from their traits.
Oh, rolling for days is so powerful here. Let's go for an eye. Excuse me. Why are there 2 forecasts on level 5? There's a Ziggs and the Nico counter, so that means that this Street Demons board is slowly turning into a Brand Ziggs board for the late game. Now, that board did get a little bit nerfed. However, with how early he got them, Honzik can really preserve some of that HP, because the whole point of a Street Demon strategist board, with Brand and Ziggs as the carries, is you kind of lose a little bit of HP in stages 2 and 3, and then in stage 4 you start winning out.
Yeah.
And Honzik here is in second place.
Yeah, I think Honzik is doing a really, really good job. I think that's one of the things, isn't it? We've got comps coming in and out of popularity, but to be able to keep them in mind for, wait a second, I've got an incredibly good high roll, so I'm going to make this work, even if it's not necessarily top of the meta. So Honzik now on a collision course with Chad Chadster, who maintains his win streak, heading deeper into Stage 3. Let's see, who haven't we looked at as of yet? Spitfire. We did, of course, talk about Dynamo coming into today as the hyper-flexible frontline composition. And Spitfire, much like Hanzik, has actually got a very promising board and a decently sized win streak already.
Yeah, it's certainly looking like it, as Spitfire has started winning right now in Stage 3, but you have a Pandora's bench, but you haven't put any units on the Pandora's bench, so I get it. It's a little bit of economy stacking. However, I think when Pandora's is in play, you're kind of allowed to break your economy just a little bit.
It is, yeah, it's always going to be a bit of a gamble, isn't it, whether or not you decide to take that off. As it looks like in this case, down to the wire, but Spitfire loses their win streak. Hanzik will be... Looks like actually he did go up against Chad Chadster in this round and also lost that win streak. So currently, Chad Chadster is ruling the roost, both burgeoning win streaks taken away. So we head on to Carousel, and what do we see, DG? But a lot of promising, well, at least a couple of promising forecasts for our players to maybe change their minds about with.
Vesperk is going to take the Cho'Gath, which means that maybe some Boombot action is coming in. But there's an Exotech board ready to be played, and those are 2 bows on 2 forecasts, and one of them is not going to even get taken. Counter, what is going on here?
Well, apparently people just don't value Vanguards as much as they used to since the nerf, I suppose. Let's see, can Chad Chadster do anything with the Zeri? I think it seems likely. Yeah, we've got the... We noticed that before the Cogmore was sat a little awkwardly alongside what we've got going on here, but we've not got a chance
we
to...
have a hollow bow, yeah.
Yeah, we've got Hollow Bow, no Gensu's Rage Blade. I imagine, yeah, Chad Chadster's going to keep on slamming items to keep his win streak intact, because as we look down the rest of the table, we can see, well, Chad Chadster and Asses, and Hanzik to an extent, are looking pretty good. Some of our players towards the bottom, including Vesberg, who we will drop in with now, have taken a lot of damage early.
Really has been a little bit of an interesting start here, but Vesperk has now gone for a little bit of cat dog with the Nefiri, Nidalee, and Rengar, but I don't know. It looks to me like Vesperk is still thinking about what to play, and I am yet to realize and see the vision.
Well, I can understand not wanting to take the Executioner before, given that who was it? Yeah, we got Asses who went into the Golden Ox. So as it turns out, it didn't decide to reroll the Graves at all. Though I think it would have been reasonable to assume that they were going to. Instead, it looks like Asses is moving up towards 4 Golden Ox with some speed. Perhaps we'll slow down once that's in place and get things going a little bit more. But I wonder, DG, we talked, or rather you mentioned the Urgot board from before. I wonder if this might be an attempt to just ride the Golden Ox for a while and then just turn it into the late game, Uber board based around the Urgot, which can be, put together just by having a ton of money.
I mean, it could be the case, and it might just happen here as we do see Chad Chadster take another victory over Acids once again at the end of a stage. And what's surprising to me, Counter, is that Acids has not rerolled any of his graves. So I think that Graves is just a item holder for something that's about to come. He could be an item holder for a Nectin. This could be a level 9 board that we're looking at.
Yeah, I think we're thinking along the same lines, DG. I mean, Assis is, again, in a pretty good spot. I mean, decent amount of money in the bank, a small loss streak, hasn't taken too much HP damage compared, especially to the rest of the lobby. So I think Assis has definitely got that potential. As of course, we've got the component anvils coming in to make sure that Assis has pretty good control over what their items look like long term. Let's see, so we are... Yes, I forgot to even mention we were on loot subscription, so overall the power lobby will be higher than we expect otherwise. Sadly, we are in a post-nerf Graves situation, so this Titanic Hydra would have been absolutely ludicrous on Graves. Now, yeah, I think Mittens would be a decent enough substitute.
Mittens is great if you're playing something like the Aphelios on level 8 to help you out with that Golden Ox. So it's still not looking too bad for assets here. You still have a lot of options as that's a Renekton on a level 7 board.
Yeah, Eula Archon's been doing some good stuff. Has not cashed out as of yet, but already the Cypher board has come together. So 5 Cypher here at 4-1, just managing to tick over to 300 stacks. We talked about this a little bit before the stream coming in. You know, on this patch, Cypher being nerfed a little bit more, but still finding a good amount of success.
Counter, could this be a stage 5 cash out for Eula?
58 HP. I think well, I guess we'll have to see what the next ones look like, because certainly people have been orienting more towards the lower cash out just because you get the Cypher online in terms of the actual damage dealt at that point. So you're missing out on a lot of onboard power if you don't decide to take an early cash out.
Yeah, but that's already a 2-star Zed. There's a 2-star LeBlanc. There's a Renekton. So you could potentially say you have quite a lot of units already online here. And I mean, if Eula takes one more win here, won't happen against Chatster, who has actually gone for the Vex here. But if Eula Archon takes a victory against one other person in this lobby, they could potentially go for a 5-1 cash out.
Well, certainly improving the cash out there, thanks to, as you said, Chad Chatster, the Vector Tech board. One thing I do want to point out with Chad Chatster, who has been playing aggressively the whole way through this lobby, the fishbones coming in for the Vex board, allowing Vex to hit anywhere on the board. We did see a little bit of it there. If she targets the backliners, they are in for a world of hurt.
Yes, she is. And also that itemless Renekton level 1 is really squishy there. So you have this Vex with the fishbones and the blue buff that's just splitting everyone apart and just doing so much damage along with this Varus. And it's sort of a weird Exotech Divinicor board. You know, we've seen the Executioner Vex boards, but that usually involves a little bit of Divinicor and Frontline, not Exotech usually. So it's an interesting variation on what's usually a much different comp.
I think this is a nod from Chad Chadster, recognizing that he's going to have to put together, you know, just the strongest board he can at any given point, and the items backline, you know, just aligning more in a Vex direction, and that's another win coming in, taking some more HP away from Spitfire. I want to check in with Vesberg, though, who is still re-rolling that emblem from the very beginning of the game. Oh boy, I mean, I don't know about you, DG, but I wonder if we've got to the point where it feels like for Vesberg, they're like, you know what? Maybe on the next roll I'll find the perfect emblem, and it's a sort of sunk cost situation of saying, you know what, maybe I should have taken Executioner right up to the beginning of the game, but now I'm committed. I'm gonna find the perfect emblem. It's just round the corner.
I think that Vesberg hasn't had his morning coffee yet. Sorry, their morning coffee. Because this is too much confusion, even for me, who can see the magic in the madness. But now I am very confused, very interested, and wait, the emblem's gone. Oh, it's an Anima Squad emblem. Why?
I mean, ultimately, I think it's going to end up being much for nothing. But, I mean, in good news, we do have a good Kabuko, so that's something. We've got a Flicker Blade with a unit that doesn't really overly care about it, but we do have a Renekton as well. I mean, I think Vesberg's in major trouble going up against Archon in this round. Archon has already, it's not up to the full version of the Cypherboard. The 3 stars are not in place, and I have to wonder when they are actually going to show up. But what is there right now, DG, is, I suspect, strong enough to push Vesberg, maybe not to elimination, no, just across the line. Vesberg, what could have been, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's also really unlucky that because Eula just cashed out at 355, so it's really difficult for for Vesberg to go up against. But yeah, it was certainly an interesting board, an interesting attempt, but I couldn't see the vision there. Maybe a little bit too much experimentation.
Oh, Vesberg's in the chat. Wonderful. Vesberg, if you were to go back and do that game over again, would you have taken a particular emblem? Because I know we didn't necessarily see all of them that were being played, but what's the one in retrospect you'd be like, I wish I'd gone for that one now? Like, because I thought the Executioner one had some promise, but as we see in this lobby, there are more people playing the Street Demon than we maybe would have liked, so perhaps not. Shimirazu, sorry. With the Kingslayer and the Street Demon board, it looks like we've got the actual reroll attempts being made, but we're not really very close to hitting the 3 stars at all.
No, it hasn't been outside of the 3-star, Zyra, but someone who is hitting the 3 stars is Yule Archon, because there's a 3-star Draven. The 3-star Galio is coming up quickly, and we're already at 6 LeBlancs as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's a pretty strong motivation to keep going and try and find the remainder of them. I know there was some discussion before about when to reroll Cypher just because LeBlanc is so good early on. Particularly with the Galio. I mean, at this point, we're still probably looking for the Galio 3 as well. But I think Yule Archon's in a decent spot, 44 HP. I mean, admittedly, everybody lives in the shadow of Chad Chancellor, who just hit the 2-star Vex. Has been doing all of this with a 1-star backline carry. And level 9 as well. DG, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I wonder if Chad Chancellor might be trying to go for a Mr. Perfect.
And now that you've said it, he's going to randomly lose a round and maybe even the game. I was trying not to say it all game, Counter. Like, come on. Wait, Chad Chancellor insulted me in chat. I hope you lose.
Well, it's not this round. Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye out and see if anything does develop. But, I mean, to be fair, 3 straight stages for Chad Chadstar, as Shimirasu does get eliminated in that round. The Street Demon reroll not working out. I think 3 stages for Chad Chadstar is enough for anybody. But Yula Archon does hit the 3-star Galio. We've got some more 2 stars coming in. Acids. The Golden Ox board finds its second Zaya. And imagine we're looking for a little bit more. Let's see. Wait, what? Honzik at level 8 finds a 2-star Samira. The Amp 5 board is online, DG.
Well, it certainly looks like Honzik is ready to rock and roll. And this Samira, well, maybe she needs an Infinity Edge, maybe she doesn't, but all I'm seeing is bullets are getting fired off everywhere, and the amp are destroying everything and everyone, as Chad Chatster is losing to Yula Archon, and good riddance.
Wow! It's brutal! Chad Chadstar can only apologize, my co-caster. He's obviously full of emotions. After 3 stages of dominance, Chad Chadstar finally takes the L. Yula Archon moves in 2 LeBlancs away from the fully activated board. So this isn't even Eula's strongest form. And bear in mind, of course, once all these ciphers are in place, then we've got the chance to move up levels and add in more legendaries and get that Renekton 2-star as well. Eula's in a great spot. We'll see how far they can take this.
What's also really interesting here is that we also see the 3-star J4 being itemized here, and J4 is a very interesting unit which that really has scalings with every single stat in the game possible. So just seeing that incredible J4 as gets slayed, gets eliminated by that strategist board, and Acids is on one life with the Golden Ox. So forget about what I was talking about. J4 is obviously very strong. This lobby is down to the top 5 and is getting really, really close now that Chatser has also started dropping rounds.
Well, let's go and take in everything then. So we've got Archon, we know kind of what's going on with this board, the Cypher board, Chatster, the Exotech board. I think this is maybe, well, this is roughly about as strong as I suspect it's going to get, though. Chatster has been keeping a lot of resources. 3 stages worth of a win streak means that you should never really be suffering for money, and I wonder if Chatster is going to try and overcome Archon by going to level 10.
Could be the case. However, I do have to say we are keeping the Zac on our bench, which is probably the biggest mistake you can do here as Chatchaster, because when you are re-rolling, you want the Zac to be on your board so that you can get those bloblets and start stacking up and make that Zac tankier, because right now, that Zac is tanking a whole bunch of nothing.
On the other side, Hanzik, one of the opponents for Chatster. I'm curious to see how they matched up, because we knew that Archon is strong enough to beat out Chatster, Zac or no. But it looks like, in this case, Hanzik is not strong enough, even with the Amp board newly nerfed, to be able to overcome. As Acids drops out, our top 4 are here. So, Hanzik with Amp, Spitfire with the Dynamo board, which has held on pretty well. And interesting, long distance pals, and we're re-rolling forecasts. It looks like Spitfire's got some big designs on trying to hit that 3-star forecast in this game.
Well, there are 5 misfortunes already for Spitfire, and he does have the Pandora. So, we're looking to get to that, to that misfortune 3, and realistically, that's the only possible way for Spitfire to win out against a really nicely cashed out Cypher board, or this Vex that just seems to just demolish everything. The Aurora shuts me up.
I was going to check the damage numbers there, because it was, purely Misfortune and Aurora. I think this is interesting, because I wouldn't have expected this to work as well as it did. For long distance pals, yeah, we're sharing AD across to Aurora, and we're sharing AP across the Misfortune. I suppose we got a little bit of extra damage there, but it doesn't seem super obviously incredibly strong. But maybe, well, I have to imagine it's going to be the, picking up, the mace as well. The extra crit chance means that we've got very strongly hitting spells from Spitfire's board. If we do hit the, well, I mean, of course, if we hit the 3-star forecast, it's all over, but maybe we've got a chance to see Spitfire win out, even if that doesn't happen.
That's another Aurora there. And there's also an Artifact Anvil, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah, that is an Artifact Anvil. And ooh, the Infinity Force or the Hole Crusher. The Hole Crusher from maybe the Kabuko could be really interesting.
I mean, at this point, you're just trying to buy time for your backline to kill everybody. Let's just see. So, the Renekton 2 is coming in off the bench thanks to the Aurora, which I guess is not really ideal, but maybe you can actually play that a little bit later, and we'll see how he does it up against Hanzik's Amp board. Spitfire, yeah, I mean, it's completely reliant on the Misfortune killing everything, and in this case, doesn't do so. So Hanzik gets the win. We've got our 3rd and 4th place players battling with each other, as I believe Chatster took an L to Ula Archon, but is up to level 10 now and is putting together the board, the legendary soup.
Yeah, and like I said, you really, really have to be re-rolling for that, for those Zac bloblets. So I'm guessing what Chatchaster is doing is basically he's putting in the Zac re-rolling and then putting him back on the bench. I see. Yeah, and that's exactly what he's doing to get the maximum out of that dynamo stacking. But the problem is, outside of the Vex and the Aurora, there's not a lot of itemization going on. So if the Samira can get onto that board in a really nice fashion, you can get burst down. But the level 10 here on the other side does seem to be enough.
Oh, it's a little close for a second, but Hanzik, yeah, takes the L. Spitfire is still holding on, but it's going to eventually fall down to Ula Archon, who is not on a 4-stage win streak by any means, but 10 rounds in a row suddenly positions positions Archon rather, as our player to beat. 355 the cash out ultimately. All the 3-star legendaries in place. Level 8 in place as well. As it looks like... Okay, I'm assuming we're not going down from 5 Cypher given how much extra stats that is, but I think Archon is going to try and make sure that their positioning for Draven and Zed is kept secret for as long as possible. And apparently it's been working very well for Archon as to go up against Hanzik. I imagine, DG, this should be our top 2 coming to fruition.
Yeah, I mean, it should be, unless the Samira can get some incredible damage out and just kill everything. However, does not seem to be the case, as Eula Archon deletes Hanzig's board here, and Chatster narrowly wins out against the Ghost of Eula Archon's board, but we all know that the Ghost is much, much weaker than the real deal. So it's really going to come down to, can Eula Archon take what he wants? Oh, Eula Archon was so slow, couldn't get the Titans there, so has to settle for the BT.
Okay, well, let's look to see what's missing. I think the Bloodthirster for the Renekton least should work pretty well. Let's see. So Chatster is trying to kind of fill the gaps here by putting together as many strong legendary units as possible. So 2-star Zac, 2-star Kabuko, 2-star Viego as well. I think the only place that Chaz is really lacking here is the backline damage. Isn't incredible. Certainly Vex can do work, but I think she's going to take time to choose for an entire board. The front line, though, is very, very good. Notice, though, we've got LeBlanc on the right-hand side as we look at it, the Draven on the left-hand side, and we'll see if the Zed heads towards the Vex, because if LeBlanc can get the shots onto Vex, then this is over in a hurry.
Yeah, LeBlanc is trying to get onto that Vex, but the Vex is evading everything, and we're seeing that Vex with that Gunblade healing evade everything. Nearly got one shot by the LeBlanc, but the LeBlanc was not enough. And counter, we might be seeing Chatster taking the victory from Eula, unless Eula Archon finds an amazing pick here an amazing champion for a level 9.
But Chat, so you may know him as a former double-up champion. Archon certainly putting up a challenge here, but yeah, we're seeing a little bit of rearranging going on. Interesting. Oh, this is really fascinating, DG. So, putting the Bloodthirster on the LeBlanc instead, I think Eula Archon is trying to set up this LeBlanc to be a late-round dueling opponent with the Vex. Once she's scaled up with the Archangels and her inherent scaling, she'll be healing herself and hopefully able to 1v1 or maybe even 1v3 the endgame board, but perhaps it's not even necessary. Wins out the round anyway, and we're in for a brawl to end our first round of the tournament.
It also really makes sense because the Ziggs hits a lot more units than the LeBlanc, so the burn from the Morel Nomicon being on someone who has some AoE just makes a lot more sense here. And you saw that LeBlanc getting targeted by the Vex, and the LeBlanc took 3 spells from the Vex there, and it wasn't enough because that healing from the Bloodthirster was so strong, and because of the Void Staff and the strategist being active with the Ziggs now, that LeBlanc is doing so much damage and healing up so much because of that Bloodthirster.
Alright, so we've got a boot coming in, so things remain much as they are. We've perhaps got the Adaptive Helm for the Ziggs, or maybe the Archangels, if we want to try and give him a little bit more uptime overall. But Chadster gonna, I believe, be re-rolling the Nash's Tooth. let's see. So item-wise, we've got... Well, we've now got the Aurora with the infinite scaling. I thought we might be seeing the Urgot getting picked up there as a potential choice. But okay, it looks like we've got Zach coming in. Of course, as you noted before, he is getting his blobs because he's been getting put in every round for them. But Chadster, we see Zed immediately getting on to the Vex of the Vex Attack fame in the backline. I wonder if this one's going to swing back the other way. LeBlanc goes very, very low, but this time Vex hasn't got enough left in the tank to stay up.
Yeah, and Eula Archon takes the health lead here. And what I also wanted to say there was Chad Chester, I think you mentioned it earlier. Chad Chester with the amazing positioning of the LeBlanc and the Draven, both being on the opposite end so that they don't get stunned by the Sejuani ultimate is a really smart positioning by Eula Archon here. And I mean, two veteran players of the CCC going head to head here is, I think, an amazing way to end game number 1.
Let's see if anything does change this time around. So, we're keeping an eye on... So, again, you see Vex goes very, very low early on. Does get healed up, but yeah, I think that means she takes enough damage to get nailed down. Good stun from the Sejuani. Means that it may not matter. LeBlanc barely dies towards the tail end. And this one will be a victory for Chad Chadster. DG, I think we go round, one more time. One way or the other. So let's start to break down the individual parts here. We've got the Vex. How much damage he takes early on. But apparently, Chadster's board, with the sheer quality he's got, isn't going to fall down if Vex dies.
Oh, he stole a Sejuani with the Viego, so now both carries will get stunned. Oh, this is the ultimate tragedy here. Counter, we might have just seen the end of Eula Archon by sheer luck that Chad Chadster got a second Sejuani.
No, that's a really good shout. The stun will land across pretty much the entire board, and LeBlanc, I mean, she's got the scaling for the Archangels, but we'll see. Vex does get taken out by Draven this time round. I think this might be the swing back the other way. We didn't catch exactly what Archon went for. Chad goes down to -2. Eula Archon with a Cypher. Cash out makes it happen and beats the Indomitable. Chad Chadster giving us a little bit of extra context there. Because, of course, Chad Chadster, a much better player than either of us, to let us know that the Jarvan you called out much earlier on in the game, DG, actually redirected the Sejuani ultimate just far enough away to make sure the crucial targets were not hit. Thank you very much, Chad Chadster, for letting us know about that. Woo! Well, general viewers, that's quite the way to get started off in today's competition. So do stay tuned, though. I'm just going to quickly check and see if anyone is still playing from the competition, if we can catch them just to kill a little bit of time. Let's see. So we've got a few different tables playing today. Let's see. So we just saw table 3. Let's see if...
Are both tables still going?
I'm trying to figure that out because there's quite a lot of different people who are in different games. Let's see, Yuki. Oh yes, it looks like we have got a table that is still running. That's table 1. So we don't know exactly in the game where it is at the moment because we don't get that kind of information. But from Riot, but we will jump across and hopefully this lobby is still going, and it is. Waha! This is table 1, still in progress.
Ooh, Golemify. That's a really nice augment to get from here. King Kale here. Is King Kale a player in? Yes, he is. So King Kale here with the Golemify, the Urgot 2, the Zeri with the. Is that the static Shiv?
It is.
It's a static Shiv. Also a Kraken Slayer and the Gunblade with that massive golem. 2 Golemifies going up against each other two Urgots going up against each other, but sadly one has to fall.
Well, let's take as much of the big picture as we can here. So we've got 5 players remaining, multiples of them on a single life. So we've got a Zeri Boombot board. So yeah, Posse, yeah, as you said, almost identical boards with each other, just trying to pile as many legendaries as possible, both on a single life. Enigma a little bit further up with the Street Demon vertical, has got the Samira 2 in place and the Brand 2 as well with the Street Demon emblem. Yuki, I'm assuming a different Yuki than we're used to, with the Vertical X-Tech, and Late Never with another Boombot board. My gosh, we've got 3 different players all running the late game version of the same board, DG.
Also, I want to point out that's a Ziggs 2, a Brand 2, a Samira 2, and a Viego 2 with the Street Demon emblem, so that's sort of like a legendary soup board.
Oh boy, we'll see who remains standing after this round, because Street Demon's actually good enough. So we're down to a single life across the board, it looks like. Nobody dies from that top 5. Everybody's left on a single life.
Okay, Counter, 50-50. Will we get the top 2 or the top 3 after this next round?
We've got, let's see, so we've got 3 or 4, I'm confused myself now. Let's see, if we've got the 3 people who are basically running the same boards as each other. I think King Kali's definitely going to kill somebody on an 8-round win streak. The Kabuko with the Unending Despair, like, this must be absolutely gross.
Yeah, I think if someone is going up against King's Ghost, they are getting eliminated. So my prediction is it is going to be the top 2 left after this round is over.
Let's see, yeah, I think Yuki Niche is going to get knocked out pretty conclusively there. Let's see, who else?
Satch.
So Posse is also being eliminated, so we are down to our final 3. So that's 1, 2... It's not 3 of the same board, at least, but it's 2 of the same board, and 1 brave soul Enigma who is willing to go down the Street Demon route. I don't think they've got the capacity to make another Street Demon emblem at this point, but it would have been nice otherwise.
Yeah, maybe that Void Staff. Oh no, they already do have a Void Staff, if I'm not mistaken. The Crown Guard there, that could potentially go on to the Viego or the Nico there. So that's a really good item to get here, and it does go on to the Nico. And I mean, this is a really, really strong board. You know, you have some legendary soup action coming in here. You have a lot of strategists as well. And this Samira that's... Well, I would have put 1 amp here to help out the Samira, but still, it's a really good board here for the side of Enigma. Sadly, he goes up against King Kale, who does have that amazing board, but maybe the Samira can do enough.
It's going to be a pretty big ask, but we do see the damage shots before the Urgot does an absolute ton, but Viego, I think having the Zonias in place as well means he cuts through the board. King Kali's win streak comes to a spectacular end. Late Never playing up against the Ghost. I think doesn't survive as well. Enigma wins out the whole thing.
It was the Ghost of King Kale, so Enigma takes out King Kale, and the Ghost of King Kale takes out everyone else. And it just means that Enigma with the Street Demon legendary soup takes the win.
Oh boy, well, it was almost Shakespearean, Deadly Ghost, and I'm sure you can feel the affinity for phantasms coming back from beyond the grave to deliver vengeance upon the living. But we will take ourselves a short break. When we return, we shall have ourselves a second round of today's competition. Of course, there's only 3 rounds total, so you don't want to miss even one. We'll be right back.
君の言葉繰り返し寝ても覚めてもやまないそけない君の笑顔が恋しくて星に願うのまた会えるよね
Howdy, howdy everybody, welcome back. Round 2 is almost upon us, DG. And based on what we saw in round 1, it seems like our orientation is more towards the very, very late game boards and overwhelmingly powerful. We did receive word that a 3-star Viego was spotted in the wild already today.
You're expected to see a 2-star 5 cost. You're expected to see multiple 2-star 5 costs. What you're not expected to see is a 3-star 5 cost in round 1.
Yes, that's Fatatui coming in and destroying the field. Remember, of course, Fatatui is a previous solos champion, so if you ever wanted to come into a competition, especially a short one like this, and make a statement of intent that you are once champion and you will be champion again, hitting the 3-star 5 cost in your first game is a pretty damn good way of making it happen. I believe we've got one more lobby ready to lock and load. This was, oh no, I think this is the one which we showed on stream. Anyway, never mind. I'm going to see if we can find any of the other results, if we can, before we get started. Up here, let's see.
I mean, we showed 2 lobbies on stream, so
Oh,
it's only the Viego 3.
Okay, well, yes. In that case, we've already worked through a lot of what we got given already. But I suppose some of the things from the previous round, we did see that the positioning difference making all of the difference.
Yeah.
I think one of the things which, of course, it took me a long time to realize as a kind of a bit of nuance about the patch is how much of a difference it is in your ability to manipulate where the Sejuani casts. So we see people with doing similar things with Viego as well, where you park him in front of the Sejuani, he jumps behind her, and then suddenly Sejuani is casting in the completely wrong direction.
I mean, it's either that or maybe the Shaco, and then you get the Shaco coming in from behind the Sejuani, and the Sejuani just misses everything. Or if Viego is just your main carry, the Sejuani throws it towards the front line. Oh wait, the Viego is not in there, and suddenly, why is there a Viego on my back line killing everything and not getting stunned?
Yeah, it's absolutely nightmarish to deal with. I mean, from what we saw in our lobbies across the competition as well, it did seem like there was a very, very heavy focus on the 5-cost boards, and I mean that's always going to be something of the way it goes. Particularly as we mentioned before, if the lower cost boards just aren't strong at the moment, there's not really enough pressure being put down by a critical mass of those players who are committing in earlier to really make anything but going for late game boards the right option.
Yeah, it certainly has been, especially with the players who have sort of opted for the reroll, like you said, and we're seeing that a lot more of the reroll boards are starting to falter as each stage goes later on, because we saw it in the previous rounds when a 2-star Viego and a 2-star Samira jump onto your backline, and you don't really have the frontline protection, or you're just going for a 1-cost reroll. Who's gonna protect you? You don't really have that many stats as a 1-cost unit. So even if it is a 3-star 1-cost unit, a couple of casts from a Viego or from a Samira or maybe even a lucky cast from a Ziggs can just take you out. And really, the person who sort of found a way around that was Yule Archon with that Bloodthirster on the LeBlanc, but that was just the exception, not the rule.
Oh, Chad says, I think posted a link, but the got caught by the bot. I'm just gonna see if I can quickly. Chad, I'm gonna just mod you for a minute. To let you post a link. I think there's probably some sort of permit command. I can't remember what it is. But Chad, if you've got some excellent Sejuani info, thank you. Let's have a quick check and see myself what that one is. That is, that's right. Yes, that's a box one. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I definitely recommend anyone. Yeah, it's only a minute and a half long, that video. I definitely recommend checking out anything that Box has generally got to say. It's going to be, I think, a pretty good shout. Our second game is almost ready to begin, so we'll be jumping in. Vespa, thank you for reminding us to hydrate. I've got a little bit of water left. How about you, DG?
I have a big water bottle here, but it's almost empty. You know, I have a quarter of it left, so looking to get it refilled after the second round.
All right, well, let it not be said that we are anything but the thirst traps of TFT, GG. We'll be getting Game 2 underway in just a second. From what we saw from the first lobby, again, things were very late game oriented. Things were based on ludicrously strong boards. Hopefully, we'll get to see a little bit more variety in round 2, but I think, even in the context of these small amount of games, small amount of players playing against each other compared to the overall field of TFT, it really feels like these first rounds kind of set the tone for the rest of the competition. Just because, if you're the only person trying to go for the early game boards and everyone else is going for late game, you're just not going to do enough damage by the time everybody else gets their ultimate boards online.
Yeah, it really is looking like Legendary Soup might just be the name of the game here. For most of the people wanting to get the W's here, and Counter, we are definitely heading into game number 2 as Twisted Fate grants free rerolls.
Well, DG, if we ever needed a reason why we might see our players departing from what we've seen so far, it would be some free rerolls to make the whole reroll experience a little bit more compelling. So maybe we will get to see something different. I mean, we did see a little bit in our first game. The hero augments come in, the silver hero augments, to give our players a little bit more reason to push down that route.
Could just be the case. Maybe we get to see the Kane hero augment there and have a 2-cost reroll happen here. But we will have to wait until 2-1 to see what happens.
So coming out of that first lobby, we've got Enigma Fatatui, and Eula Archon all with their round wins. So here we are in the second place, lobby, which will have a lot of players who've got the potential to make it up to lobby 1, but do need a good result coming out of this one overall. So we'll see. Our current front runners from that side of things in this lobby will be Chad Chadster and Lukey G and Late Never. They've all got second places on their records, so a top finish here puts them into lobby 1 for the final round with the potential of taking the CCC crown.
I mean, it really is looking like this is going to be... Wait, actually, Counter, this is looking like the lobby of the winners, because Enigma, Fatatui, and Eula Archon all won their lobbies.
Oh, you're right. My mistake. Sorry, I had it in mind I was going to table 2, but you're absolutely right. These will be our top table already. Sorry, apologies. Normally round 2 I will go for lobby 2, but it looks like I misclicked. But it's right. We'll stick with this one nonetheless. So, rewind everything. Thank you for correcting me, GG. These will be our best performing players. So Enigma, Fatatui, and Archon, as you correctly pointed out, all in this lobby. Of course, for our top players, hopefully we'll get to see another one that go for the attempted clean sweep of a completely undefeated tournament.
I mean, hopefully. Ooh. Do they go for it? Does the memory bank come into play?
It's got to be pretty tempting, right? I mean, let's see. This is for Archon, who has been doing well. We know that Dynamo, certainly before, was just the reliable board, but no. Archon says, I've got a 2-star Poppy, I've got a Bramble Vest, you know what this means. Bucklers to the face.
Bucklers to the face, and you could slam a Sunfire there and try and help out. And though we have 2 shotguns helping out that Swashbuckler, slamming everything into place. We also have 2 Echoes, which are surprisingly not getting picked up here, but Eula Archon might be going for the Morgana Bastion reroll here. If we see those Morganas get bought, which...
Ooh.
Oh my god, Counter, are we about to see the most played reroll comp of 2 patches ago get played here?
This is tricky because, yeah, I think you're absolutely right to call out. The units are definitely saying to Eula Archon to go down the Bastion Poppy route, but we've got no tiers whatsoever, and also Eula is winning rounds, which means that they're very unlikely to be able to pick up the blue buff and Morgana items anytime soon. I'm not convinced of this, DG. Chadster on the other side with a clear mind and actually managed to get the Golden Ox up themselves, so I think might... Oh, that's right, it's a Jarvan making the Golden Ox active. Will lose the round to Eula Archon, so Eula continues to look strong. Chadster has got the later potential, give the clear mind extra XP.
Yeah, and it looks like, well, Chadster was trying to go for a win streak, but sadly, Eula Archon says, no way, Jose. And that just means that Eula Archon is once again thwarting Chadster's efforts.
And we've got some proper rivalries developing here as, oh, King Kali. We were looking for our Dynamo players, and it looks like we might have found them, DG. Managed to get at least half of a blue buff in a very early release. We're talking about how flexible this frontline is. King Kali able to just put out bruisers for the time being, while keeping those Morganas on the bench.
I mean, it's certainly looking like we're going for Dynamo Bruiser, at least since the early game is concerned, but Eula Archon has since gone for 2 LeBlancs, and what is going on here, Counter?
I'm not sure, honestly. I don't know if... So, one of the things that's interesting about this competition is that a lot of times players tend to listen to the stream as well. So I wouldn't necessarily take our advice on what to play. These players are a lot better than we probably will ever be. But sometimes we can shift the deal, and perhaps that's happened here. Ratatouille picking up the tiers, and we were talking about before, getting good itemization for our players who've been getting these win streaks in is gonna be tricky, so perhaps that's gonna keep them flexible for longer. We'll check in with Ratatouille in a second, though, to see what board's coming together, because it looks like we've got... Let's see, so we've got Vanguards and Divinicore. Ratatouille. Oh, interesting. I wonder if this might be a Vexatech board coming together, since we've already got a Dynamo player.
Could just be the case. Also, Counter, I wouldn't call them much better players than ourselves, you know. I've played in the CCC a lot myself. I've been the points leader going into the final lobby twice.
Okay.
We won't talk about game 3s, but yeah, you know, I've played against a lot of these players.
All right, no, I withdraw my statement. I, in fact, am the anchor around this casting team. But we'll see. Ratatouille up against Chadster in this round. So it looks like we are seeing a fair amount of Dynamos being picked up just generally across the field. Chadster winning out that round. I mean, it's just slamming like crazy as we saw before. Enigma and King Kali not facing each other this round. So Enigma loses. King Kali is going to win. And it looks like, DG, we've got a front runner for the early part of this lobby.
It does look like King Kali is winning out with another. Okay, what is up with people? Like last game, we had like one person going for Dynamo, and it was the Dynamos were secondary. Now 4 people are going for Dynamo, as we have 4 LeBlancs from Eula Archon who started out with the Dynamo board and switched it up. Maybe he scouted, and Loki G has an Annie on level 5. So this lobby is pandemonium, and the counter, you should give yourself much more credit because you are also a very good player.
I think that is functionally inaccurate, DG, but I appreciate the support nonetheless. Yeah, Lucky G with an interesting Golden Fleece star for our Golden Ox friends. It looks like we've got ourselves, presumably, a Graves reroll forthcoming based on the slammed items, but if you can just find I believe the Jarvan is the missing piece, then it will all be very, very powerful. Are you guys going to stream Last Chance Qualifier? I'm assuming that's Last Chance Qualifier from Frenzy. Which Last Chance Qualifier are you talking about? Because, I mean, I guess that kind of provides something of the answer in the response, but if there's something interesting to stream, do let me know, Frenzy, and I'll have to consider it. But yeah, let's go take stock of the lobby. So we've got Dynamo at the top from King Cali. We've got Archon with the, what presumably is going to be a LeBlanc board eventually. Dynamo for Chad Chadster. A Bruiser techie board for Enigma. We talked about this before. The nerf to Mundo, presumably, it's going to make this board considerably weaker than it was before. Oh, I think I might have lost TG. But let's keep scouting around as to where the rest of the people are. We've got a cooking pot for the blob. I know I've certainly been baited by this enough times to always be wary where someone doesn't have an obvious route to take for this early on. I mean, certainly Bastion would be the expectation. I think the blob might be going for a Boombot emblem, but we'll need a Reforger. Welcome back, GG. I hear you breathing.
I am so sorry. I had to take a phone call, so I muted myself for a brief moment there. I'm very sorry. Also, I do have noise cancellation on, so that breathing should not be audible. I will have to look into that. My apologies to everyone who has to hear me breathe. I do want to live.
Oh, I see. Frenzy, Northern Legends finals today and tomorrow. This game tomorrow finals. Frenzy, yeah, so as it stands, I don't think there's any Northern Legends broadcasts going on, sadly. It was a little up in the air for a while as to whether or not it would be the case. But no plans as of now. I wouldn't be expecting. I think there might be some people co-streaming it, though. Chashasta only wants you to sing rather than breathe, TG. We'll see eventually if we can get the people what they want. Once more, perhaps without being cut off ahead of time. But so, if we go towards the top and the bottom of the lobby, we've got Dynamo on both sides of the equation. I think Late Never is going to presumably be trying to go for an Elise setup here, because with the heroic grab bag and the calculated loss, should be a lot of rerolls.
Yeah, I mean, it is looking like it could be a Twisted Fate reroll there for this board. However, if we are going up against Chatzer, who has 2 Mordekaisers here, so we get to enjoy double slam as the spectator has broken on us, which small indie company, something.
Let me just see if I can fix that, because that is a little weird. I think we should be able to reconnect quite quickly. Let's see. That was Archon's game, so I believe it'll let us back in. Yes, pretty much immediately. But yes, that was a weird bug. I've never seen that one before. But we'll be back underway in just a second. Alright, so DG, we're in a lobby as we expected, which is going to be very heavily based on the Dynamo boards, as we will be dropping back in again. Haha. Okay, yeah, there we go. We fixed the problem there. Late Never It definitely to me feels like probably the most interesting player because, yeah, they're forcing their way forwards on this Dynamo line, but we know that hitting a 3-star release is going to be functionally impossible in the lobby.
3-star release is not possible. However, hitting a Urgot on 7 is
What?
extremely possible, as we also hit a misfortune. So I have one question, Counter, and it is how much high rolling can happen in one place?
I mean, this is really fascinating. I wonder if Late Never... Okay, let's theorycraft a little bit here, because that's our prerogative as folks who are just messing around here on a Saturday morning. I wonder if Late Never might actually go towards a... You know, because we know that Elise is off the table as a reroll option. I wonder if we might instead go for a more Syndicate-based board with using, you know, maybe going for a Syndicate 5 Dynamo board, you know, just to use those rerolls for something useful by getting the Darius 3 online, for instance.
If I'm going for this monster reroll, I think I would be looking towards making a Braum a 3-star to just be that amazing frontliner. Even though he got a little bit, nerfed Braum there, I think he's still a very strong unit, and wouldn't, uh, I wouldn't, I would expect that if we're going for this misfortune, we should also go for the Braum, because Braum with the Syndicate hat just becomes a massive tank that also deals so much damage.
Well, Late Never picking up the tier is certainly pretty good news as my cat returns. I was complaining, Gen of viewers, to DG about my cat coming on the desk this morning and just continuously knocking things off, so he's returned. If you hear the sort of thumping sound coming through, that'll probably be because he's found something else to knock off the desk as well. What a little jerk. But let's take our way around the lobby. Chad Chadster, he's been knocking people off of their HP as opposed to the desks. Chad Chadster at level 7 with the Dynamo board has managed to build up an impressive 5-round streak.
Yeah, it does seem to be the case, but Chadchester with one of the weirdest itemizations on this Dynamo board, but it does seem like the win streak is about to end as Fatatui has jumped in here and destroyed the board because the Vex has come in here. So Fatatui with the Pilfer and the Raining Gold, so double economy on level 7 has hit a Vex here. So we might just see one of our Dynamo players just jump ship and go in towards that Vex comp.
Just double checking. Yes, the icons are really similar between Pilfer and Trifecta, but this is interesting because, you know, we talked about in our previous lobby that the Vex tech board, you know, is relying so heavily on the Vex to get the job done. But with Trifecta, I think we can lean a little bit more in towards the Varus and, well, to a lesser extent, the Morkaiser to be a bigger part of what's going on for Fatatui and maybe keep this streak going long term.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it does seem to be the case. Oof, that misfortune from Late Never is just doing so much. This Vex might be doing quite a lot, but the problem is Late Never already has some amazing items for that Elise, and this misfortune is just complementing that damage significantly. And it does seem like Late Never is just rolling on 7 to try and get all of those Braums and all of those Elises, but the big thing is here, Fatatui is almost naturally hitting a Vex 2.
Oh, my apologies. If I sound a little distracted like I'm being attacked by a cat, that's because he's back on my desk again. Oh, that guy causing all sorts of trouble. I'm trying to clear enough space that maybe he'll sit down and stop standing directly in front of my monitor. There we go. I think he's situated enough. Whew. And if you'd like to see pictures of this cat, known as Paws, or as I call him, Mr. Mister, you can check it out on my Instagram. Wow. Look at me cross-marketing as this cat shows me his butt. There is no pictures of my cat's butt on Instagram, no, just to be clear. Lucky G, definitely not a cat's butt, has got the 4 golden ox in place. And DG, you were praising the itemization for our friend Graves. It looks like we're close to hitting the 3-star, and this board is strong as anything.
It does seem to be the case, but ooh. Excuse me, as I muted myself just in time to sneeze. This Annie atomization is really strong, and we do seem to have the 4 golden ox coming in, and maybe perhaps we're looking for the golden ox 6 after we get this 3-star Graves, because Lucky G is in a very, very good position here. Just really needs to get to that level 8, and that should be enough, as Tibbers falls out of the sky like a meteor and destroys everything as prismatic augments. And we get golden ox emblem.
I mean, that's got to be your key to getting to 6, just not having to, to wait all that time to find the Viego as well. I mean, it's very tempting. I mean, if you can get a board that's actually getting enough kills, then you can farm infinite items, but you give up a lot of power, and it will be Lucky G deciding to commit in for golden. I mean, I suppose in the short term, this allows for a slightly stronger golden ox board because you can drop one of the weaker golden ox units, but we need the Graves 3 online, ideally, so Lucky G can move up levels and get farming in a hurry.
You already have the Aphelios there on the bench, so Lucky G is basically just going to drop one of the. Lucky G just dropped the Rust there to get to the 6 golden ox, and the big thing is here. This board may not be as strong right now, but it's still making Lucky G a lot of gold because of the 100% loot drop chances. And now, because you already have a pair of Annies, you're 1 Graves off, you only need a couple of units here, and Lucky G, because of the nature of the encounter and having so much HP saved up, I think Lucky G is in a really good spot to maybe take away first place in this lobby.
You're right, it's definitely a long-term investment. I mean, Graves 3 would definitely... I really like Graves 3 as a kind of a foundational point for the comp, just because he's so strong at this point. And there we go, the 3-star in place. The golden ox is stack up as well, so we were up to... Wow, up to nearly 50% damage buff. And with the unlimited gold, it's going to go even further. Now, admittedly, golden ox loot drop chance is pretty low now, since they post-nerfed it. But you're right, the 100% chance of a drop is still a lot of money. So I'd imagine every other round was what it used to be, at least. We see an extra component coming in. The Graves 3, I think that was our first component drop coming in. We can see the Graves 3 just making an absolute mess of the front line. I think we're not necessarily going to be seeing the rounds being won, but enough econ being gained to make this a worthwhile proposition, if perhaps only temporarily.
I mean, next round you can just level up to 8 and drop that Rust and get the second Vanguard for the J4, which means you're also getting 1 extra Divinicore. And now because of the bonus components, you can itemize another one of your units. And there's also a pan, so you could technically make, if you get the Reforger, a Divinicore emblem there, and even get even more Divinicore bonuses going for you, which Lucky G does go for the pan, so maybe it's going to be the Vanguard emblem and another unit getting dropped in at level 7, or maybe it's going to be an Executioner emblem. The options are very big here for Lucky G.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what Lucky goes for long term. Certainly with all the extra components coming in, we'll have a lot of options as well. Lucky, thank you for the follow. Well, there we go. All I need to do is talk about Lucky G extensively, and one will appear. Let's take in some context, though, because Late Never and the rest of the board, remember, this lobby seems to be all about the dynamos. Lucky G is swimming against the tide in that regard. I guess the question I have for you, DG, is given that so many people are fighting over Dynamos, and Late Never admittedly does hit the 3-star lease, but with that fight over Dynamos, maybe this going to slow down the rest of the lobby enough to allow for Luki to farm up and hit that incredible late game board?
I think it will, simply because of how many people are contesting each other on the forecasts. Because there are a lot of people, contesting Misfortune, contesting Annie, contesting the Nico, from what I've seen, and we already saw it. Late Never has hit the Elite 3, but he hasn't hit much of anything else. And also with the calculated loss, yes, you do want to get some units there, but it's really not looking too great here. Oh, makes the
Ooh.
3-star Braum here, so now we can look towards that level 8 and putting in the Aurora. But the big thing is here, is it too late, and has Late Never actually been late for once?
I think where we
this
are
3-star.
with this board is that Late Never is going for a top 4 at this point. I think that maybe it didn't account for how contested the Dynamo board was, because they're completely out of money. One of the calculated loss functionally is not going to do anything for the rest of the game. The grab bag's also not going to do anything for the rest of the game. And really, it's only the Radiant Blue buff. So I don't think this board goes anything more than a top 4, but for players like the Blub, who are in some pretty major trouble, things may not even go that far as our first elimination here at Table 1 comes in. Lucky G, thank you for the comment on the Vanguard emblem. Yes, one of those ones which isn't craftable, but... Lucky, since you're in the chat anyway, why don't you tell us what are your... what are your plans for this pan? But DG, it looks like you actually called it immediately correctly. The Executioner was slammed straight away.
Wait, Vanguard isn't craft. All right, the Bastion was craftable. My mistake.
Yes, weirdly enough, it's
yeah.
the only one that isn't craftable. I don't know if there's a particular reason for that, or just that there was only so much room for the defensive stats, I suppose.
I think it's also because Vanguard already has 7 units, so you don't really need to craft an emblem.
Oh, we are getting receiving word. Thank you very much, Lucky, for scouting for us. The apparently late sold a Zac pair and a Garen on level 7. Very determined to get this at least 3 online. But we've got a lot to catch up on, I think, across the lobby. So Eula Archon, this is going to be, of course, the rerolled Cypher back in our eye holes once again. It's looking like itemization is pretty good on one side, but we are actually... It's weird. So we've got most of the way to Draven 3, we've got LeBlanc 3, we've got Galio 3 as well. LeBlanc currently completely unitemized, and in this case, Luki with his board rips through, bypasses the Galio, and deletes the backline.
Yeah, so it's really this Galio just trying to tank everyone with the Thornmail Augment, but the problem is you're going up against a lot of magic damage as well that's just trying to beat you up. King Kale here with another amp. Sorry, King Kale wasn't with the amp board. That was Enigma with the Street Demon amp, and he's level 9 and he has 80 gold here. So will King Kale actually go for something like the... Is he going to look for a 3-star Nico? Because he's rolling down. He's not going to level 10. So that does tell me that he's probably trying to roll down for maybe a 2-star 5 cost, maybe for the 2-star Viego, because I believe that's also invested coming in for King Kale.
Yeah, so King Kale can keep... It looks like as long as King Kale remains stable on this 5-amp board, I mean, it's very greedy to not spend this money on something else. But yeah, you're getting the invested rerolls. I mean, we look at King Kale's augment setup, and this is very determined to hit the late game. Slamming, forward thinking, and invested. No combat power whatsoever. You have to get everything you're doing out of these units. I mean, certainly the free rerolls helping Zac get stronger. Viego hitting the 2-star as well. We've got a potential option. I'm fascinated to see how King Kale does. Down on 22 HP. Most of the lobby is around this kind of point as well. So the full commitment DG I just don't know if it's going to quite be strong enough without the Yumi 3 in place as well.
I think looking at it, King Kale is going to struggle only against Fat Tatooine and Luki G, because I think the Aurora 2 from Late Never might be enough, but the problem is there are too many threats on this board. As we said, 5 amp units as well as a Viego 2, but it may just be enough to save everything, because the Samira doesn't go onto the elite, so King Kale had. I think this was the last round. I think King Kale must roll come next round, but there is a Samira, so the potential for Samira 3 is there for King Kale.
Decides to go for a slightly less risky route, but you're right, at this point, King Kale, Late Never, Enigma, and Archon all down probably on a single life. So we're very close to finding our final 4, maybe even final 3 relatively soon as well. So let's take stock of where we are. So we've got Fatatui with the Exotech Divinicore board, so that's the Vexatech board, up in pole position, very closely tied with Chad Chadster, who has got the Urgot late game legendary suit board, as we would expect. Then we have the Golden Ox just a step below, which has been farming up a storm, as it looks like our spectator is bugged again. Ahem. And then Ula Archon in 4th place with the full Cypher board. I mean, this is a pretty tough top 4 to bust into, DG.
Yeah, it's really looking like Eula Archon and Luki G are going to be the sort of the gatekeepers of this top 4, and we're going to see right now Enigma and Eula Archon 1 HP difference, whether this Annie 2 will be able to beat the Annie 2 of Luki G, and whether this Amp Strategist board will be enough with the Golemify. But it's really looking like this Graves is just destroying everything. But
Hold on.
No, the Annie and the Ziggs are going to burst down that Graves, and Eula Archon falls down to 1 HP as King Kale gets eliminated. Luki G goes down to 1 life, and we have 4 people down to 1 life. And Counter, this is looking very, very close.
Well, let's take stock of where everybody is then. Luki G did just hit a significant step forward in power. We've got the 2-star Zach coming in place. I have to imagine surely the Warmogs goes onto him at this point rather than on to our friendly Gragas, but I think maybe just a little bit of last second rolling to try and get everything in place. Luki G did also hit a 3-star Senna as well, up against Eula Archon in this round. Both of these boards very much deserve to hit the top 4, but Luki G took the path more risky with higher rewards. The Golden Ox 6 is kicking off, and it looks like the Cyphers just aren't strong enough. Luki G cleans up, makes it to top 5, but not top 4. Enigma loses the previous round. The AMP board is interestingly not even an AMP 5 board as of yet. Enigma up at level 9 stays alive, but barely.
Yeah, really needs a Nidalee here. So we're waiting for a Nidalee, as Eula Archon does lose out in 6th place. The 5 Cypher board not being strong enough in this game number 2, but Luki G here almost at the 3-star J4 does have a lot of gold as well, and that's a 2-star Viego. Wow.
This is a golden, just for GST, thank you for the follow. Remember, this is a golden fleece board as well, so we're not just getting gold from the Golden Ox drops, we're also getting it from the augment. Luki G is getting stronger and stronger, 1 away from Jarvan 3. It's going to make such a massive difference, though, where the Graves ends up going, because, sure, Viego is very powerful. You need to get... Graves is still doing the lion's share of the lifting on the board. We'll be up against Ghost in this round, so we'll switch across to Enigma, who's facing against Chadster. I wonder if the AMP can do enough damage.
It certainly could. However, that's a sniper's focus for Necton.
Illegal. It's not good enough,
Yeah.
though. Enigma stays alive. Luki stays alive. Lace is alive. We've still got 5 players after that round.
How in that? I'm trying not to cuss here, Counter, but this is crazy. Like, we have a double 3-cost reroll in the top 5 here. We have Luki G who now found the 3-star Jarvan. Actually, we have 3 people rolling 3 costs and being at the top of the lobby, vying for the top spot and trying to get the point lead in this competition.
Remember, for anyone who is just tuned in, we are midway through round 2 of 3. This is the top table playing against each other, so the points they get here could keep them on the top table for round 3, or send them down to table 2, where the chances of winning are dramatically reduced overall. Late Never, with the 3-cost reroll ball, will drop out in the top 5. Honestly, I think Late Never did well to get that far, given how contested the Dynamo line was overall. We're down to our final 4, 1 life on every single remaining player.
Ratatouille is one Gragas off of a 3-star Gragas. We have a Vexatech board being active here. We have Luki G, who is just stacking. That sack has way too many bars.
8,600 HP seems reasonable to me. I don't know what you're saying, DG. Up against Enigma in this round. So we're keeping a close eye to see where the Graves goes. He does get stuck on the tank line. That's a huge golem on the other side, which keeps Graves from accessing the back line, and Samira is not the easiest to pin down at the best of times, but this time it's enough. While the Graves falls, the rest of the board is very good. 6 Golden Ox makes it into the top 3, the top 2. Ratatouille is eliminated in 3rd.
And how is it that once again Chad Chester makes it to the top 2? By sheer willpower, Chad Chester somehow makes it to the top 2, manages to get through almost everyone in the lobby, and I guess that win streak in the mid game really did help out, as Luki G with the really good scouting just denying the Zac too, because there was a Zac there on the carousel. So Chad Chester really has really has been denied here, as there's a Viego getting stolen from Luki G. So basically we're going to have 2 Viegos dropping on both sides.
Alright, this one's for all the marbles. Luki G. The Golden Ox board, it was a riskier path. Chad Chadster goes with conventional wisdom. This is the late game board you should be looking for on Chad's side of things. With the Urgot, the Graves will fall down, but that Zac is unkillable, and Luki G takes it. 6 Golden Ox, 1 first place. Very well done up against Chad Chadster, who I would say very much out of that lobby was the player to beat.
I mean, game 1 we had Cypher, game 2 we had Golden Ox, and it seems like the economy traits are just winning out games.
Oh boy, I honestly was holding my breath through half of that one just to think. I certainly played enough of those kind of Golden Ox games and realized, you know what? Maybe I should have just stuck with the 4 Golden Ox, but in this case, greed was good. Gentle friends, we'll be taking ourselves a 7-minute break. When we return, we shall have ourselves the final lobby of the entire competition, and we shall see who walks away with the crown here at Counters Casual Competition number 103. We'll see you 7 minutes away. Howdy, howdy, everybody. Welcome back. Counters Casual Competition. The grand finals are almost here, DG. We're almost ready to get things kicked off and see who is the strongest and the brightest star in Counters Casual Competition. So far, we have been seeing, pretty consistently the late game boards being achieved by our players overall. I'm hoping here in our final game, our final lobby, that we get to see things get even more explosive.
I mean, hopefully so. We saw 3-star Viego getting put in here, but in game number 1, in game number 2, it wasn't as interesting. However, we did have a lot of we had a lot of interesting boards come up, and I believe also we had another oh, is that another Cypher cash out from the other lobby? Get Slayed has a Draven 3 along with the Zed and the Bastion, if I'm not mistaken, as I realized you are only now showing it on stream.
Yes,
Am
I'm
I correct?
using the studio part of OBS Studio to get that graphic ready. But yes,
There we go.
you built anticipation for Get Slade's win out with the Cypher board. It's interesting because I think you brought up specifically the Jarvan as a unit to watch before in this kind of setup here, and I think that's maybe something that a lot of people wouldn't necessarily put priority onto, but I think it just matches up so well with the traits. You've got the Slayer in there for the Zed, you've got the Vanguard as well. I mean, this is the board that didn't have a Galio 3 in it, but still got first place anyway.
Yeah, it's you really want the either the Draven LeBlanc Galio, or you can settle down with the Draven and the J4, which we did see right here, because like I said earlier, Jarvan is a really strong unit. He has a lot of good AD scaling, he has a lot of good AP scaling on the shielding, and almost any stats you give him are just going to be beneficial on him. So, we've seen some Titanic strength Jarvan boards. I think that was the augment, right? No, it wasn't Titanic strength. It was the one that makes Titans stack to 50.
Oh, I know. Yes, I know which one you mean, and definitely I can see that being very strong. I do want to take a second to recognize before we head into our final lobby as well, the scores in place at the moment. So I'm going to see if I can pull this up in a way which works well on stream. I think we're going to have to
They
basically
haven't been updated.
Yes, I think we might still have some of our lobbies ongoing, or the... Let me just double check if there's something happening in the tournament overall. Let's see. I think there's been a bit of a delay on some of the results coming in from the previous lobby, so we won't update quite as of yet. We'll take a chance just to let the ad break run out at the moment. Oh, I see what's happening. We need to unlock the score sheet, so let me just do that myself, since that's something that I can do. Let's see. Boop-a-da-boo. Let's get rid of that. Okay. So GG, but yes. So as we come towards the tail end here, we will be looking. Let's see. So looking to see which of our players can take home the crown. There's still a potential, of course, I believe, to see some multi-time champions, or at least going from multi-time to at least from double up victory to further. Chats, of course, we've been paying a lot of attention to. It's been doing very, very well for himself.
So, if I'm not mistaken, Chatser will be on 14 points. Luki G on 15 points, if my math is correct. And well, I can just open up the results and see if
All right, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so Fata2 is also going to be on 14 points, but he should be jumping ahead of Chad Chester because he has a first and a third per tiebreaker rules. So I think those three are going to be the front runners, and everyone else is just going to be playing catch up towards them points wise. But I think we're going to have, based on the results that I'm looking at least a couple of people on 13 points. So we are going to have one person on 15, two on 14, and a lot of the people in the final lobby on 13 points. Just just to keep it a little entertained until we get everything set up for round 3. As there is some admin stuff going around in the background, so we do apologize for the wait, everyone, but it is a little bit of a, sometimes accidents happen. There are things that are unavoidable, and the background can sometimes break the admin sheet.
Well, what we can do while we are waiting, if this works, which I'm not convinced it's going to, but if it works, let's see. So that is, I'm going to see if we can use, while we wait for the third round to begin, I'm going to see if we can get ourselves, deploy some predictive powers. So I have got the ultimate in technology. I don't know if you're familiar with the predictive powers of marbles. But let me just see if I can do some shenanigans to, let's see. So I've made a text file of our players.txt. I am now gonna try and remember where I just saved that. Apparently it wasn't where I thought it was. Let's see. Interesting. There we go. Players.txt. No, that didn't work. Alright, well, in that case, I'm going to manually enter every single player's name in the entire competition into this predictive tool, and then we will be able to use it to tell who's going to win the final game, even if they don't actually apparently exist in the final lobby. Either Archon. Yeah, DG, I don't know if you... Do you have anything that you use to predict the future yourself?
My ghastly powers.
Oh! Well, in that case... What do your ghastly powers tell you?
Chad Chester is going to take a 6th place.
Wow! And is that just because you've got a particular beef with Chad Chadster, or was it something that was informed by anything else?
The spirits of the Shadow Realm never reveal their secrets and what they know, but basically, the spirits have told me that Chad Chester is taking a 6th place for whatever reason.
Oh my gosh. Well, Chad Chester, we'll have to see what is thought about that overall. So I'm taking the current contents of... I'll take the people from our top 2 tables. I'm going to type them in here just so it takes a little bit less time. And then I will bring it up on stream in hopefully a way that works. Harry Potter's... Okay, so that is... that. Okay, max race is 16. Hopefully, this all works. Let's find out. So I'm going to add in a window capture, and we will find out momentarily if this actually shows up on stream, or if I spent a lot of time for no reason at all.
Yeah.
Let's see, Marbles on stream.
Hopefully.
That is not what I expected it to be. Okay, let me try that again. Huh. That is new to me. Okay. Let's see. It looks like... I'll try and check to see if that is working. No, okay. It looks like it's broken in every respect of the word, so apologies, general friends. I'll have to set that properly for another time. As you can see, things not quite working as one might have hoped. It's, for some reason, it's showing my OBS. I don't know why that's going on with that one. Alright, well, we'll just have to rely on your ghostly powers instead, GG. So, what we've got so far is that you basically, you're just predicting against Chad Chadster and not for anyone else specifically.
Oh, I do also have a prediction on who will do well in this game.
Excellent. Alright, who you feeling?
And I believe that Fatatui will get one of the top 2 spots because the spirits are whispering in my ear that a Viego comp is coming.
Alright, I believe our third round is ready. We see from Chad Chadster in the chat that he's saying he's locked in. It might be Jova for everybody else. And Vesberg, apparently in a land without any water. We do apologize for your lack of hydration, Vesberg. We'll make sure that we stay nice and hydrated.
Here I am.
Oh, Rahads, and a Pro Killer, welcome to the stream. We're about to get into our third round of play. I'm just checking to see if our players are underway as of yet. I think we had a little bit of a delay on some of the results coming in. So we'll be starting in a couple of minutes' time. Vesberg, you are welcome. We will be more than happy to deliver the experience of seeing other people drink water, even if that is not an option for yourself. Ooh. So DG, our final lobby will consist of Luki G, Batatui, Chad Chadster, Enigma, Honzik, Posse Mystic, and Late Never. So you were predicting for Fatatui and against Chad Chadster. Based on that full lobby, is that your final decision as the phantasm in the know?
I just said that Fatatui will take one of the top 2 spots. I never said that he will win the competition.
Oh.
But yes, I am locking in my prediction that top 6 at the best for Chad Chadster and top 2 for Fatatui.
Alright, it's brutal. Let's see. I think we can actually bring up the scoreboard now on stream. Haha! Gazooks! So let's make this a little bit more visible. There you go. So yeah, from what we've got here, looks like, oh, okay, yeah, so you can jump into the previous round. So we don't have anybody in the competition as of this moment, GG, who is completely undefeated. It's all first and second places across the board, but it does mean that Luki G is currently in the lead with 15 points overall, so it comes down to tiebreakers, which it very often does in Counter's Casual competition, that Luki G is in the best position to make it out ahead.
I mean, you know, all I'm going to say is I wish everyone the best of luck. May the best TFT player win, and may every single board be up to everyone's liking.
I don't know if that's possible in a game of TFT for everybody to get what they want, but maybe, you know, we'll see. I've been certainly coming to this one. Of course, we had Lucky G in the chat before who was letting us know the last game especially was a way to get a little bit of revenge from what happened previously, losing out to Fatatui's 3-star Viego in round 1. So that brought both of them to some pretty good finishes overall. I would be surprised to not see this final lobby go completely bonkers as well. Because, again, our players are looking for, ideally, those 2 spots overall, which are prize. Once you get below second place, then you are up to the whims of fate as to whether or not you get a prize leaving from today.
Now, Counter. Everything should be headed underway very soon, but the spirits are whispering once again.
Uh-oh.
And they're telling me something.
What are they telling you, DG?
Enigma will go for an unorthodox board.
Oh, interesting. Do they give any more details on that, or is it just like, if you were looking for a weird board, then this is the place to look?
Well, I believe it is because of the nickname that there is a little bit of a shroud of vision there. So it's not perfectly visible what Enigma is going for, but it will be a board that is unorthodox to anything we've seen so far. So I think we should be looking at some very creative placements of units, or maybe even creative units from Enigma.
Alright, well, you heard it here first. We are around 30 seconds from jumping into our final lobby of the whole freaking day. So make sure that if you are attuned one way or the other, you've made your voices heard. In fact, I'm going to put a prediction in place as well. Let's see. I'm going to... Can we do... who will win round 3? I don't know if it will let us do 8 people, but let's find out if it will. So we've got...
Oh no, it can. You can do 8-man. Technically, you have 7 people in this lobby.
Oh, well, there you go. Makes it even easier. Alright, so I'm going to I'm going to jump us into the lobby, then I'm going to set up a prediction in the chat so that not only you, but everybody else watching can put their channel points where their mouths are. So we've got Fataturi, Chadster, Enigma, Honzik, Late Never, Posse Music,
Loki G.
Oh, turns out typing, Harry, is not my forte. Lucky G, and who's the other person I'm missing in all that? I think Groovy Boys are random, right?
Yes.
Okay, you will have 15 minutes to make your prediction as to who will win the final round, so that is live. So you don't necessarily have to make your prediction straight away. You can wait and see how the game develops. But DG, given that you've made your prediction, I'd like you to put at least some of your channel points on the line here to back up your calls as to who you think is going to be winning the whole thing.
I have already placed my bet. I shall not be revealing for whom.
Oh, interesting. All right, I'm gonna go there myself and start. I don't know if I can. I presume I can, even though I don't necessarily have.
No, the person who makes the prediction cannot put in points because they ultimately can give themselves infinite points.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I have no real use for channel points on my own channel, so I guess I'll have to make do for now, but there we go. Prediction is live. We've got the even split right now between Chadster and Luki G, so I think folks are putting their foot forward as we will start off here with our prismatic augments, an economic prismatic augments as well, DG.
If you don't go for birthday present here, it is a literal troll, because birthday present with the introduction of level 10 has been probably the best economic augment you could go for. And Fatatui goes for it.
Yeah, it looks like they're green, going to immediately level up and get the free unit. So Fatatui off to a strong start. Remember, coming into this lobby, we have got a few of our friends here who are ahead of the pack overall. So we'll be keeping a close eye on them across the whole of this game. That's Luki G in first place currently with 15 points. Let's go and evaluate what his start looks like.
No, that's not hard. He has also gone for birthday present.
Yeah. All right.
Or is it
Why?
Prismatic Pipeline?
They do look almost the same, yes. I would have to say that
but I think Late Never has gone for the dice roll, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, Luki G could just level up to level up to 5. So Lukiji and Fatatui could actually level up to 5 and get another 2-star 1 cost right this second, but I don't know if they'll be doing it.
So this is the kind of the conundrum of birthday presents, isn't it? You know, you've got the potential very, very good early power, but you know that you won't be able to hit the level 10s, which you've talked about before, if you blow your econ early on, unless, of course, you can maintain your win streak. So the two birthday present players go up against each other, Fatatui versus Lukiji.
Ooh.
They both got their early cash outs. It looks like, I think Lukiji's board might be slightly stronger. It's got a better backline, but the front line from Fatatui is very good indeed.
Nah. Because it's a 2-star Poppy and the 2-star Silas, Lukiji is going to lose there. The problem was that Lukiji did not have a 2-star frontliner, whereas Fatatui had 2. So that was really, really difficult to watch for if you're a fan of Lukiji here. But Fatatui certainly on his way to have a really good game. And Chad Chatster has gone for the shopping spree.
This is interesting. So, I mean, certainly, while Shopping Spree has changed quite a lot over its lifetime, it still does sort of maintain its idea as being a level 7 centric, 3-cost reroll, just because that's where you tend to end up with, the confluence of the most rerolls and the most use for those rerolls being brought together. So I wonder if Chad Chadster might be deciding to go, more down the Cypher route, which we've seen a lot. Certainly, we haven't seen a lot of 3-cost reroll finding success otherwise.
I mean, it's really going to be interesting to see what Chad Chatster goes for. It could just be a Cypher board if he can get this Galio, because I think he had a LeBlanc. But Late Never takes away the Galio, so yeah, it's looking like Chad Chatster also is going to get his win streak broken down by Lukiji, and both Lukiji and Fatatui actually have gotten their win streaks broken. And with birthday present, you need to have that strong economy. And if you go win loss, that economy is not going to be building up, which is the opposite thing of what you really need. As we get the lucky shops here.
Yeah, let's take in the big picture then. So yeah, lucky shops means that we're going to have our players who are more reroll centric find themselves some good stuff early on, and a lot of 2 stars. So we've got from a Mystic, who is on 12 points overall, so one of the lowest points players coming into this final lobby, does have the rapid fire emblem. We know how powerful that can be long term.
Yeah, I mean, it's really going to be interesting as can we take a look at Late Never's augment choice, because I think that's the dice roll augment.
Yes, it's expected unexpectedness. So this is the
yes.
Roll dice 3 times. Roll I think 3 dice 3 times. So you end up with a whole bunch of stuff, and that's gonna be combined with Late Never. Let's see. Do we have multiple Cypher players? It looks like no.
We have Honzik, who's trying to break the loss streak.
Oh yeah, with Hedge Fund. So yeah, while the Cypher itself is not contested, Honzik contesting the loss streak, as you say.
And I mean, if Late Never goes up against Honzik and gets that loss streak broken, it's going to be so difficult for Late Never to just get anything done. However, he does go up against Lukiji, who has now leveled up to that level 5 and has gotten a 2-star Silas. Yes, that was it, and has now reestablished that win streak coming in. But Pessimistic does seem to be the only person win streaking throughout stage 2, and that means that this economy is going to be booming here, and a 6 rapid fire board could just destroy everything.
Yeah, I mean, we know the late game potential of the Rapid Fire Emblem board is absolutely ludicrous. So Pessimistic keeping it their HP fully intact the whole way through stage 2 is pretty scary to say for the rest of the lobby. Let's look down the other end though and see Honzik. So this is our hedge fund player who's been playing kind of open fort up to this point. Late Never and him have avoided each other, so neither have broken their streak. But, I mean, certainly the late game potential for a hedge fund board is also enormous.
I mean, hedge fund, and oh, what was the name? And level up. Those two boards are. Oh, another lucky shop here. As oh, if that shop had a Galio, we could have seen Hanzi maybe go for a very strong cipher board, but it looks to be just the strategist coming in here. But yeah,
I wonder
the
if
thing
we're
that I
going to
was
be...
looking.
What's to say? Like, I
Go
think
ahead.
the... Honzik holding on to the Draven, I mean, Honzik is definitely Late Never's hater in this lobby, and they will finally face up against each other. Actually, I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Honzik actually try and horn in on the Cypher himself, if particularly he can lose this round against Late Never, who has done everything he can to try and weaken his board.
I don't think he's losing it here because of that really great placement of the Galio. I think that really here that Late Never has outplayed Honzik, which does happen here, and the loss streak is broken for Honzik, but he's already at 100 gold, so Honzik does not really care now what happens, and he gets restart mission! Counter Honzik just won the lottery!
Yep, you can just start over again, and oh boy. I mean, there's still not impossible to go back into Cypher again if you wanted to, but right, Honzik, I mean, with now 115 gold in the bank, win streaks and loss streaks are kind of irrelevant. But we've got... So Honzik and Late Never, there are players who are building up towards a hugely strong late game. Late Never very happy to have kept their loss streak intact. Tui rules the roost at the top. Our birthday present players, as you said before, both finding great success.
And Pandora's bench for Fatatui. Like this is just gearing up to be a really, really good board. Honzik may have lost out on the opportunity to beat up to beat up Late Never's loss streak, but the restart mission gave him a 2-star Draven, which is going to put a wrench in whatever Late Never was trying to do here. And we're seeing here Fatatui leveling up to 7, so that economy has been broken. But you also have the Pandora's bench, and once that economy gets built up, you're going to have a very, very strong level 9 or potentially even level 10 board.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wonder if Fatatui... Well, Fatatui and Luki are going to run into each other very soon, I imagine. I mean, by comparison, Fatatui has spent aggressively to keep the loss streak intact and to get the birthday present units as quickly as possible. Luki G has accomplished much the same while keeping that economy intact. So right now, at least, DG, between our two front runners, I'm more optimistic about Luki G's chances.
I think simply because the economy is still intact, Lugi G has the better shot, but I do think that probably the person who is going to end up contesting them for the top 2 spot is going to be Honzik here, because of the restart mission and because of the incredible economy build up that Honzik managed to do. As we're already seeing Honzik, building up, starting to get a win streak going, and there's a misfortune right in front for Honzik to get, but he's not going to go for it. He instead is going to take the Yumi, because is Honzik maybe trying to go for Syndicate emblems?
It does seem like that could be on the cards. I mean, I believe it's the cloak. So let's double check that. Yes, the cloak for Syndicate emblem, if we do want to go that way. We've also got a Reforger to potentially make a Dynamo emblem as well, so if Honzik's got some big ideas about where he wants to go longer term, when we're looking at itemization, it's pretty decent. we've certainly got, the kind of mixed itemization that would work well for the board. But we'll see, longer term. So Honzik and Late Never are lost streaky players against each other. Right now, Late Never, again, has kept the lost streak intact, while Honzik has moved forward to a stronger overall play. Let's take a look at some of the other players we haven't talked about yet, though. Groovy Boy, the Bastion Exotech board during the early going, seems to actually have managed to keep a pretty long lost streak himself.
Yeah, this is our random here. So after taking a couple of early wins, it's now a massive loss streak. Is going up against Late Never, and Late Never is the person you don't really want to be when going up against a loss streaker right now, because look at how much damage this LeBlanc is just doing to everything. But I think these two Jins... Oh, that's so bad for Late Never. Oh, that just means that the cash out got taken down from maybe a 400 to 350. Oh, that is so unlucky.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. There's been so many people fighting to be the players who are losing this lobby. At least Late Never does find LeBlanc, so if there was a time to say, you know what, I'm just gonna admit at this point I'm just moving to the win streak instead, and saying, I don't think my Cypher is going to be quite what I would have hoped for. We still don't have the Zed, but bear in mind we do have Death's Defiance already in place for Late Never, thanks, I presume, to the unexpected unexpectedness. So this is still a board with a lot of potential.
I think we should start looking towards re-rolling quite a bit for Late Never, and maybe try to go for this amazing cash out, because for this amazing win streak, because you really can't cash out at anything more than 350 right now if you're trying to continue this loss streak.
I mean, this is perfect, though. The 250 cash out. I believe there's like a 25% chance of seeing that one, but Late Never high rolls the options and finds exactly what they are looking for. So LeBlanc is already in place. We already found a decent amount of Gallios. The only thing that's really missing from the equation is finding the Zed and finding enough Dravens to work with. But I think Late Never really got bailed out there.
Yeah, that was a really strong one there to get. But Late Never is still looking... Oh, now this is a problem, because you really want to go for a lot of items, especially items to help out the front line, because well, now we just got a lot of gold there, but ooh, it's... I mean, you do have a lot of frontline items, so the Galio is going to be really powerful, but I don't think anything else is going to be really powerful. As just slam the Archangels, I think that could be a really good item to have, as a level 7 5 cost has once again graced us.
Absolutely, it's what we're here for here at Table 1. Honzik, really, I love seeing we've got the Twisted Fate doing his best boom bot impression and proving himself as we're taking in the rest of the lobby. Ancient, welcome back to the stream. The tournament has been pretty wild so far. We've already seen a 3-star 5 cost, and most of these endgame boards have been very high end. We will be bringing in our final augment. So we've had every type of augment in the competition, or in this final lobby so far. Prismatic to silver to gold. Our final big choice for our players as they try and put together a boards which we know will be very rarefied.
I mean, I think that... Why is that Nidalee still in there? Why aren't we looking to replace it, and why isn't that Thieves' Gloves going under a Nectin, which has an incredible set of items there?
Yeah, I think like Never taking a little bit of time to put everything together towards the tail end. It's still got one duplicator left in place, but I think it's running out of time. It might actually have to give up on the Draven 3, just, as powerful as it is, and just look for the Zed instead, because of the Cypher 5 will be so much more powerful. But there's the Archangels we talked about before, DG. It has been slammed. Late Never is trying to make the best of what they've got right now, and it's good enough to take down Posy Music. Let's look at some of the other low HP players. So Groovy are random with Exotech 7. Honzik, we saw before, the hedge fund board, also dropping pretty damn low. This Boombot board has got the potential to hit Boombot 6, but right now that doesn't feel super close.
It really hasn't. And counter, Enigma has jumped up second place here as...
Your prediction?
Hold up. We're talking... And it is an unorthodox board, because we have Marksman...
Come on!
Excuse me. Where have you seen a Marksman emblem on a Grost?
I mean, I think it's a pretty big stretch to call Marksman Vanguard on an Orthodox board, but I will grant you that in this tournament, it has been a bizarrely absent board overall, so in that context at least, Enigma is bringing out something a little bit different, but Chad Chadster on the other side just got an absolute barrel full of money. He's got Argot, he's got the 4 Boombot Ultimate board already online.
And he also has malicious monetization. So what a time to go on a massive win streak than when you get malicious monetization. But counter, I'm looking at the scoreboard and I'm seeing a birthday present player in the top spot on the win streak, which hasn't been broken since that loss to Fatatui in 2-2. So that's 2 full stages that we've seen a massive win streak. And sadly, Luki G has gone for a reroll on level 8, because why would we want to utilize our economy augment to the fullest?
Say how you really feel, DG. I mean, I have to assume, yes, that the Lucky G must have found an absurd amount of Elises to make this a worthwhile proposition, but it's hard to argue with 11-round win streak. Bear in mind, of course, our players at the top. Lucky G is currently on 15 points, so is 1 point ahead of Fatatui and Chad Chadster. But if we look at our top 3 in this lobby at the moment, they're the same as our top 3 in the tournament overall, so we know this is going to come down to the wire.
I will give props to Luki G there, though, because it is a Renekton 2 on level 8.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. Well, let's compare
So-
then. We've got Renekton 2 on from Lucky G and the Dynamo board. What do you think about Lucky G's board compared to what we've got going on from Fatatui with Anima and Boombot from Chad Chadster?
I think the Boombots are really going to be strong here for Chatchaster, who is yet to reroll. Like, he still has 17 rerolls, and once he levels up to level 9, he's going to get about 25 rerolls worth of... Sorry, yeah, he's going to get 25 rerolls, so that's 50 gold worth of rerolls. And, you know, Deargot 2 can come there. You can have a legendary soup board come in there. But the problem is you have to get to level 9 first and have enough HP. And we're seeing that Late Never and Honzik are starting to win out a little bit there. And out of the top dogs, it's only Luki G who's continuing that win streak and building back up the economy. So it's really, really difficult for anyone else to contest Luki G at the moment. And I also want to point out, Counter, that we are now at 5 Renekton's.
That is more Renekton's than is reasonable. Lucky G letting us know he had to roll 50 gold for that last elite, so I'm starting to come around to your side of things in terms of that maybe not being the best idea with the birthday present and the potential high end. We'll see if it costs Lucky G. I mean, right now, he's on 95 HP, so it may not ultimately turn out to matter. But to come back to Chad Chadster, I'm with you there that As it looks like our UI has bugged out again, so I know I'll have to see if I can get the footage from this to somebody to show what's going on, because this is a new one to me.
All Chester has to do is open up that item anvil and it should be fixed.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I think we can. I think we can bot backwards and forwards. Yes, there we go. All right. So this is against Late Never. This is the Cypher player who couldn't find all the Dravens that they were looking for. We haven't got the got 2 in place with Chad Chadster, so this is probably the only chance for Late Never to potentially get the win. Look for that Death's Defiance Zed, who's dancing through, and it's enough to take Chad Chadster off his heels again.
Late Never is looking for 1 Zed and 1 Draven here, because there is a lesser champion duplicator there, so we are technically looking for, once you get 1 Draven and 1 Zed, it's going to be the end of the road not going to be the end of the road, but it's certainly going to be a much stronger board there, as Honzik has 5 Urgots.
We are at 6 Boombots, so let's see. So Honzik's front line is not the best. We've tank itemized Garen, and I imagine once he becomes a Boombot as well, that will really pay off. But right now, Honzik's still not quite as strong as he could be, but up against the rapid fire board. See, I don't think the board is overall strong enough to deny 6 Boombot, because everybody else gets wiped out so quickly by all those Boombot rockets. And as we head to the midpoint of Stage 5, DG, you can see there's a lot of players in the teens HP-wise. And we could easily be seeing eliminations by the handful coming up momentarily.
The fact that not today, the Edge of Night and also Death's Defiance is on the Zed is giving me hope for Late Never that maybe he can pull off a top 4. Pessimistic, someone who was in 2nd place at some point, is now dropping down the ranks so quickly. 6 Urgots here coming in for Honzik, but the problem is Chad Chadster has a couple of Urgots himself, so it's really he's really not making his mark here by trying to go for the Urgot 3, but it is solid enough for this Urgot to demolish everything else on Late Never's board. But Late Never survives, as Fatatui, with that birthday present board, drops down to 1 life here, and there's a second Boombot emblem. Holy.
That's Honzik, who's the one who's... I'm just trying to remember myself as to... We've got so many good boards coming through. The Honzik is the one who's most happy to see that Boombot emblem. That's absolutely amazing. So you can replace the Fiddlesticks and still keep up the 6 Boombot. That's huge. Honzik's already on a win streak right now, and that's just made him tremendously stronger. Honzik coming to this one with 13 points overall. Pretty much anybody outside of our top 3, Luki, Fatatui, and Chad Chadster, needs to get the first place to stand any chance of winning the competition. But we got 2 stars reigning in, DG. We've got the Samira 2 arriving at full Luki G. I mean, we're up to level 9. I think it is possible Luki might be able to get all the way to level 10 and really cash out that birthday present as well.
So Pessimistic is out. I think Luki has enough in the tank to take out everything, especially now that there's a Spear of Shojin and the Rage Blade on this Misfortune, so she's able to get the second cast off. So it's not going to be as detrimental of a loss as it could have been for Luki here. So yeah, he had that massive win streak that saved him so much HP. And yes, Chad Chadster is going to take the win here, but he doesn't even get to below his HP bar, so Luki G will definitely survive this round. Fatatui FFs and is out in 6th. Enigma is out in 5th place with that 6 Vanguard Marksman board. So Late Never has survived to this top 4, But the problem is Luki G really wants this cipher board out, and he might be able to do it himself because he wants to roll for that Renekton 3-star.
Alright, this is the last chance for Late Never. Did have that amazing cash out from before. The Draven is still not fully itemized, but the Zed is magnificent. Just rips through the back line of the board, and looks like you don't need everything to go right for the cipher board to still be successful. Lucky G and Honzik losing off the previous round. Honzik with the second Boombot emblem is now up to Boombot 7. I'd love to see the Fiddlesticks replaced with something else, like maybe the second Urgot. But
I think the Kog'Maw should be getting replaced.
Oh yeah, of
with
course.
The second Urgot.
No, you're right. That'll be a tremendous amount better. But we're down to the wire here. Remember, the Chad Chadster and Luki G are our current front runners, with, as you noted, Fatatui being knocked out from before. They're Chad Chadster and Luki are the ones most likely to be able to win the first place and the tournament overall.
Honzik is going for the reroll. He's trying to find. He skipped. He sold. Oh my god! He sold the Urgot. He is now going for something else. He could have had 7 Urgots there. Wow, Honzik probably making. I mean, this could be the correct play, just stacking up the Zac with so much HP, but he might have just made the mistake that will cost him the tournament up against Luki G, who has yet to level up here. So Luki G also saving so much money, maybe potentially trying to bank on Last Never getting eliminated, but Luki G is saved by that last bit of HP, and Chadster takes out Late Never. And that means that Luki G can roll for this Renekton.
So we've got 2 of our top 3 in the competition. Luki G and Chad Chadster in the top 3 right now. Chad Chadster maintained the streak. Perhaps a fire lit in his belly. 14 points overall. 2 second places. No first places in the competition so far. DG, I will give you the opportunity to withdraw your previous slander of Chad Chadster if you wish at this point. Are you still determined that he will be finishing below first place? Wait.
Yes.
What?
Because Luki G hit the 3-star Renekton.
Oh my gosh! All hail the Croc God! All bets are off. Luki G is our tournament front runner on 15 points overall, and he just developed the world's most ludicrous endgame board.
I was about to ask you to go to Luki G's board because Luki G from that birthday present got another Renekton 2.
Oh my gosh.
So he had 8 Renektons and started selling his board.
That is a proper scam, but hey, Luki G, you took the chance, you get paid off. So now it's a question of who comes in second to this god of the convergence, let's say the rift. Chad Chadster, it's gotta be feeling pretty sore considering how powerful he was looking, and Honzik as well, the chat saying lost because of the Renekton. That is pretty accurate, I would say. Honzik had such a good board, but it's all swept away besides the 50,000 HP Crocodile. Chad Chadster, all he can do is look on and pay subservience to the beast.
Where's Nasus when you need him to stop his brother? Nowhere to be found.
I'm going to see if I can... I was Luki G notice something else on the server. Wait, no, I'm in the wrong room. That'd be why. Luki G, if you're willing to come talk to us afterwards, because it looks like at this point you have, of course, won the competition. I'm going to see if we can get an interview with you post-event, because, of course, we'll still wait for the final results to come in, but with Luki being the front runner and also winning the final lobby, there's no real question that he has won the competition overall. I was kind of curious to see who would get sacrificed to be chomped by him. I think it doesn't, yeah, it doesn't actually change anything, the Overlord effect, when you are 3-star. It just means that each time you cast, you're doing...
Chadster is trying to go for a 3-star Renekton.
3-star Argot?
Sorry, Urgot, yes.
Uh-huh. Well,
Yeah.
well, there we go. That was... Alright, well, Luki, if you could come into one of the voice channels, we're gonna bring you onto stream, because whew, that was a
Now,
hell of a showing.
counter, do I reveal some crazy bit of information?
Please do.
I put all of my points in the Luki G basket.
You did? You devil. Well, then, your prediction is correct. I'm assuming that probably the chat, you're taking all of Chad Chatz's channel points there. Oh, the humanity. All right, let's get Luki G in to tell us a little bit about their tournament. Luki G, welcome to the stream. Say, really nice job.
Thank you.
How are you feeling now that you are a champion after what seemed like a most shocking 3-star Renekton victory?
Yeah, not bad. I'm glad redeemed my first game second place with my 3-star 5-cost of my own. Obviously a little bit of luck in the final birthday present, but that was sort of the plan the whole time. I was either planning on, if the Cypher player didn't die, then I had to go for Samira 3. I mean, these Urgot boards outcapped me every single time, so that was pretty much the play there. No one had Samira, I had 4. And yeah, it was pretty much a 2 in 9 if I got Samira or Renekton on the birthday present, and it worked out pretty perfectly.
Absolutely.
So hitting the 22% chance. Chat chats are helping you out there by eliminating Late Never, who had that Renekton to sort of thwart everything that you wanted to do. How happy were you that the Cypher board got eliminated, and you realized you had the chance?
Extremely. I mean, I couldn't knock out the Cypher player myself. Again, I know you were in criticizing the reroll, but I was level 8, 60 gold, 4 Elises, and I hit the what's it called, duplicator, double dupe augment. So I thought, okay, this will take me to level 10. And as I typed, it was a bit unfortunate. I had to spend all of that gold for the Elise, but it left me with enough to go 10 with pretty much 1 life. So really a game of margins.
Well, yeah, I mean, is this reflective, Luki G, of your kind of general approach to TFT, or is it something that you were specifically doing for this event?
Probably more this event. I mean, this is my first tournament. I saw you guys on Reddit over the last month or 2, but I've been traveling, so I noticed that I could finally make one. So I joined yesterday, and thing is, I've been watching a lot of the lead up to Worlds, and the ranked climb is a little bit different, right? Because I'm always playing for top 4. I don't really mind 5 fourth places in a row. You're just slowly gaining your LP, but I mean, who wants to be 3rd or 4th in a tournament, right? You wanna be first place, and that's sort of where you need to go. The classic TFT mindset of 1st or 8th. So I'm typically a pretty greedy econ player anyway, and I got a few boards like the Golden Ox in my game too, which really probably my favorite comp, honestly, to play Graves reroll into ideally 6 Golden Ox, because who doesn't love seeing gold every time you kill a unit? But
I mean,
definitely a different playstyle.
Yeah, I saw you hover over everything else that was in that augment round outside of the Golden Ox emblem, and I thought to myself, if you don't take this emblem, if you do not take this emblem, but it does seem that Mordok has blessed you a little bit. Game number 2 with that Golden Ox emblem, and game 3 with this birthday present. And Counterfeit did say birthday present is probably one of the strongest economic augments you can get right now, simply because of level 10 existing in the game. And I mean, birthday present won out the tournament, so I was right.
I mean, yeah, first thing on the Golden Ox game, it's a general rule and prismatic, you don't take the circlet augments, because it's pretty much a gold augment plus a component or a champion. But I think Golden Ox is the one where you can let yourself, if you're high enough HP, it actually gave me probably like 6 components. So obviously there it's worth it, but the other augments, it was Coronation, which is so good for the Graves comp. You just get another Divinicore in. And I can't remember the other one I was offered, but it was also really good. So that's why it was a tough choice.
Oh boy. Well, we'll let you go in a second to relax and enjoy yourself as our newest champion. But is there anything, in terms of your stream or anyone else that perhaps you watch streaming, you'd like the good people to know about as our now reigning champion?
Well, I hope to join for future tournaments. I guess thanks for having me. This one was fun, and seems like you've got a nice little community going. So I hope to be around for future events. I don't really stream or anything. This is sort of obviously just something you do on the side for fun. I run a business myself, actually, where we do AI solutions. So if anyone's interested in getting some AI solutions for their own business, then hit me up. But that's pretty much the only shout out I can think of doing.
All right, well, absolutely. Hey, congratulations on being our champion here today, and a pretty damn spectacular way of making that happen. So congratulations once more, Lukey G. We'll drop you back down into the voice channels just to clean up the rest of the competition. But congratulations on a spectacular win.
Thank you very much, and thanks for hosting. It's great what you do.
Yeah. Alright, DG, I think our results are mostly in, and we've got all of the table 1 results at least. So we know that Lukey and Chad Chadster, I'm just going to start typing this in as we go, are kind of joint winners, because first and second place are winner, and second place as well get the same prize. But of course, getting in a little bit extra pride is worth something as well. So we're going to do the Wheel of Names for the rest of the players. Let's do a little bit of cleaning on some of these names, just so we're not throwing everyone's username onto screen. I realized the other day that's probably not necessarily the best of ideas.
Mm-hmm.
But we've got 3 prizes to give out. The same prize for everyone who's here for the first time that anybody else could have gained through the competition itself. So DG, do you have in the barrel one of your patented voices to count us in for our first giveaway of the day?
Well, of course I do. Champions, we're getting ready to roll in 3, 2, 1. What?
Alright, let's spin a wheel! What? Miru, congratulations! Our first random winner. Alright, let's find another friend. Whoop, and number 2 will be Harry Potter. Congratulations.
Mm.
And
I noticed you didn't do a voice.
Yes, I managed to skip over that myself. Haha! Well, would you mind making up for my shortcoming by giving us something for our third winner?
Champions, we're rolling down in 3, 2, 1. Time to roll down the barrel.
How terrifying. And our last regular winner will be... Ooh, get slayed! Very nice. Alright.
That's my Gragas impression.
I hoped it was. I was like, it's either Gragas or something which I don't know. So for we also have prizes from Northern Legends, who I will shout out in the chat at the moment. They have got their regional finals this weekend. So they've given us 5 more prizes. They are slightly smaller prizes. They are 100 treasure tokens rather than 150, but wanted to try and spread them out for as many people as possible. So we'll just bang through those quite quickly. So our first Northern Legends prize winner will be... And thank you, Miro and Dance, for the follows as well. It looks like it's going to be That's 3. Congratulations. TG,
Didn't
give
take
us-
one of the top 2 slots, but did get a win.
Yeah. All right. Give us a 3, 2, 1 for number 2. We got 4 more to get through, so we'll go quickly.
3, 2, 1.
I don't know how to feel about that. And it's gonna be Honzik. Congratulations. Honzik is number 2. All right, number 3 will be 3, 2, 1. It appears it will be Pier for number 3. DG, for the penultimate time, you count us in for number 4 prize from Northern Legends.
3, 2, 1.
And it will be the late, but never. Late never. Congratulations. Alright. Let's see. Late never, if you're in the chat, let me know. I'm just gonna double check what late never's is, because I think they're quite different on Discord from... Oh, let's see, I can find myself. Oh, that's... Yeah, okay, their Discord name has nothing to do with their... Rizia. Okay. Alright, and our last Northern Legends winner for today will be... 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that's a nice one.
It's my Trekkie/Cookie Monster voice. And it will be Ula Archon, who we saw from before.
With the grandiose Cypher cash out in game number 1.
Yeah. Alright. So that's everyone tagged. I will do my best to get those prizes out as soon as possible by DM. But, of course, definitely before the next competition. So we'll be taking a little bit of a break. I think with some things kind of, being wound down a little bit, we're going to start to have a few less competitions for a little while and then pick things up once summer is over. So it'll be a month away that we'll be having our next event, which will be on the 2nd of July, 2nd of August, which I believe will be once after the new set has been released. And that will be a double up competition. So I hope you come and join us for that one there. DG, is there anyone or anything that you would like to shout out from today?
Twitch.tv/DeadlyGhost96, and I also want to shout out Counter for having me week in, week out on these competitions. Whether you have me on as a caster or as a player, it's always lovely, and I look forward to the first competition of the new set, because I'm looking to become one of the winners, Counter.
Alright, I believe in you as well. Do you want to take a second to give a shout out to Alex, working things behind the scenes here today, doing incredibly well for himself, so do go check him out as well. Our admin for today, but has been producer in the past before, an incredibly talented individual. So for all your production and admin needs, do go check him out. For now, let's see if we can find ourselves some Teamfight Tactics players. Oh gosh, it's good to see that there's actually quite a lot of Magic the Gathering streaming going on. Wonderful. Alright, let's see if we can find anybody that we've not... Oh, someone's learning TFT. I think that would be a fun person to go and spend a little bit of time with. So let's go across and check them out. So that is Blue Bonnet, TRS, who is currently learning TFT. So if any of you folks would like to help someone join our community, then this is a wonderful opportunity to do so. Again, we'll be back in 4 weeks' time on the new set for our double up competition on the 2nd of August, as you can see below. Sign up will be available for that closer to the event. For now, thank you so much, DG, for joining, for Alex for doing the adminning, and congratulations on an incredible tournament from a Lucky G, our champion here today. Again, we'll see you in 4 weeks' time for the next Counters Casual competition. For now, we're going to go check out Blue Bonnet and see how well we can help someone join in with TFT overall. We'll see you guys over on that stream. And we're ready. Nice. All right. I think that's us out, yes.